even undersharing is something as well. I feel like that shows that people could probably be emotionally unavailable. What are your thoughts?
Undersharing, it depends on, I would say undersharing depending upon how long we've been really kind of like getting to know each other. Yes, most definitely. That could be a sign. Definitely. First meetups really genuinely are for really just seeing if there's chemistry connection, seeing if there's any attraction, having a good time, right? And seeing if there's going to be another meetup. That's what really the first one's for. These are very light times. You might go in, I always say this, ladies, you want to go in with your top 2 vetting questions, right? And which would be probably 2 of your core values, and one of them should be a deal breaker. Both of them can be deal breakers, or both of them could be deal breakers, or one of them could be your deal breaker. You just add that into the conversation to find out where this guy go. Now, when you asking these questions, you're not going to lead him to the answer. What do I mean? So if faith is your core value, you want somebody that you have shared faith with. The last thing you want to do is ask them, "Oh, do you go to church on Sunday?" If I'm a man that's trying to get something from you, I'm gonna be like, "Yep, I go to church. Yeah, that man ain't been in church for 20 years."
You're giving them the playbook.
And he's gonna quote that same scripture: "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son." Yeah, baby, we learned that in Bible school when we were 5. You had to say that to get a piece of candy. Trust me, we all know that.
Oh, making it easy for them. Look, you have Nikki cracking up.
Yeah, I want y'all to not be so gullible, man. Stop falling for that nonsense, though. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Yeah, they go out and get them same scriptures. They've been using them same scriptures on every one of the women they met. Them boys ain't been to church no time. You give him to church, he don't even know what to do. He don't even know what to do when he get in there. Yeah.
Exactly. Back to that undersharing, I think that can be a real thing in long-term relationships too.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. When people start disconnecting, of course, there's always going to be undersharing. Because let me tell you something about relationships for men. Okay, but men, for us, relationships are fine. We finally found a place where we can woosah and let you know everything I've been wanting to say for so many years, but I ain't found nobody to say it to. Men probably are the biggest pillow talkers you ever gonna find. Men are.
Really?
Oh man, when we find that woman, when we find her, and we can be vulnerable, or we at night. Yeah, because we found a place now that we can be vulnerable. We can talk about things we really want to talk about, right? So men in relationships, we're gonna share. But when you got a guy and you've been in a relationship with him and he's not sharing as much, that's definitely you need to look at that. If he starts shutting down, he's not sharing. Now, some men, let me say this, some men are not just guys that ain't real talkative, right? But even with them, there's times when they're gonna want to kind of like, let you know certain things. But if a man just stops talking, either something is wrong with him, either he's going through a time in his life where he needs some kind of like probably some help. Because when money and stuff is funny, we kind of shut down. Stuff like that. That's one thing. But if everything is good and he just stopped talking to you, he talking to somebody. Trust and believe. Because men need somebody to talk to, because we don't have face-to-face relationships with other men. We have it with women. Yeah, we have it with women.
I remember you saying that in a video. I do remember that. Yeah, because I just wouldn't want to be in a relationship where a long-term relationship and my partner is a familiar stranger.
Man, facts. And men that really fall in love with a woman, right? We fall in love with you for way more than your body. Your body is definitely something we attracted to, but we fall in love with you because number one, you're intellectual, you're emotional, all those things, right? So when I start talking to you as a man who really loves his woman, we're bringing things to you to get your input because we respect your intelligence and what you have to say. So we're going to be shooting things off for you, talking to you all the time, trying to get your input because we respect it. But when that stop happening, something is going on somewhere. Either something is wrong with that relationship, That man or that woman has disconnect. Something is going on. When conversation stops, that's something is happening, because we need men. We need to talk. We need to have communication.
You think it's usually a third party?
Oh, no doubt. He's talking to somebody. It could be, it could be his mama. It ain't always got to be another woman. It could be his mama. Some men put their mothers in the place that their wife should be when it comes. Not saying, I'm talking about when it comes to emotional release, and a mother allows that. Sometimes, he goes to his mama for everything. He could be getting what he needs from her when it comes to emotional release, or it could be another woman. But I can almost promise you it's not a man, because men, we might tell our homeboys some things, but we ain't gonna go. We ain't telling them everything.
No, I don't see that. Well, let's explore that with the mother-son relationship. What are your thoughts on that? Where there's a husband that finds his intimacy with his mother.
If that's happening, either this man in the beginning was the type of man that had a relationship with his mother that probably would be problematic to a relationship, and you maybe ignored it, or like I said, something is going on because he just needed a release. Men and their women, when we connect with our woman, I'm telling you, this becomes a safe haven for us. Mm-hmm. Right? We talk in ways. I mean, we love it. We love to be able to talk to our women. But if I have to go to my mother and tell my mother things, it's just the bottom line is either I've just stopped talking to you, or I probably should never been in a relationship, because the relationship with my mother is, I'm never going to let that go. And I probably don't need to be connected with anybody right now.
Right. Wow. That's a word right there.
Because we attribute all this stuff a lot of times to it being another woman, but a lot of times we don't visit that and see any real mother like my mother. My mother, if I'm in a relationship, because this has happened to me before, my mother not gonna let me just come and just my mother gonna ask me this: well, did you talk to your wife? That's what my mama said.
As opposed to, okay, sit here and let me bake some cookies for you, and let's chop it up. Give you
it's all right to be. It's all right to be a mama's boy. I'm not saying that, because I'm a mama's boy in a sense. I love my mother, but I'm not looking for my mother to be my emotional safe place. not at this point in my life. Not at this point in my life.
Right. Let's see. Gloria said relationship for a man is pillow talk when he finds the right woman to be that's the key word, vulnerable with.
True. Definitely.
And Spiritual Soul said this is good and is.
Thank you, Spiritual Soul. You and Gloria.
Gloria said, oh, I just read that already. She wrote that twice. Okay. And they're liking the vetting questions, going with your top 2 vetting questions. So speaking of vetting, all right. So a couple of people anonymously have sent in their questions. Would you like to answer them?
Most definitely.
All right. And as a disclaimer, Paul does not know the questions. He's going to free flow on this, and I've seen him do this on his lives as well. So if you think about a coaching package, this right here is a resume. So he's going to come with it, but he does not know the questions. So let me pull it up, okay? And if you all have any questions you'd like to pose, I think someone did ask the question. Hold on one second. We do have one right here. Uprise Queen said, I do not have a great relationship with my parents. So I think this is going back with the attachment style, with the testing. Is that a big of a deal?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's only a big deal if you haven't had therapy and you're still dealing with some sort of dismissive, anxious attachment style from it. Because you can be fearful, dismissive, or just dismissive. But that's the only time it'll be a problem. But if you work through it and you've been to therapy and now you're a little bit more secure, it shouldn't be an issue.
Right. Because I agree with that, because that can definitely have some residue.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, don't I know? All right, here's the question. Okay, the person said, we dated for 2 years. He hid another woman's pregnancy and the birth of their baby. I found out when the other woman called me. When I confronted him, he said, but are you neglected? I still love you. Oh, wait, there's a part 2. I still love you, listen to you, support you. He nearly made me think I was crazy for being mad.